It is raining outside and the water is dripping down. And one company that has been caught in the storm for some time has been the trade desk, ticker symbol TTD. And tomorrow they will report earnings. Can they weather the storm, shield themselves against the downward pressure from the bears, and resume some upward movement? Or is this a dead company that has lower to go? Find out all of that and more in today's Trade Desk earnings preview. Let's go.
Coming fast, a tidal wave, it'll never last.
The Trade Desk TTD. It is time. Earnings tomorrow, May 7th at market close. And let's see how this one is going to play out. If you are a frequent visitor here of the channel, Courage Pays Better Than Fear Trading, you know that we love to follow the life of the trade desk because it has just been on such a downturn since we got to go back to February of 2025. And this thing just keeps getting beat up. Anytime that it gets positive news, it gets smacked in the face, and it has not been able to recover. It was at one point in time, if we just zoom out here, you could see a $140 plus stock. And as of right now, at the time that I'm recording this video, prepping you guys for earnings, it is $24.07. And there's no secret to what has been happening here with the trade desk. This was a growth stock. It was a Wall Street darling. It was growing quickly. It was generating profit, revenue. And then suddenly the growth started to compress. The growth started to shrink. And as a result of that, we have seen this thing fall as much as it has. And they've been facing a lot of competition with Amazon and Meta. Or can the open internet survive and thrive? And that's the bet that investors are making with the trade desk. And right now, they're losing. And so that explains the competition that is out there right now. One of the big factors pressuring this stock to the downside, challenging its growth. And then there are a few other things. There's been some weakness in terms of their leadership, some instability in August. A CFO resigned, and then you had another CFO leave. You had board members leave. So it just called into question the leadership of the company. Why are so many people leaving? And when it's a financial executive, you have to question, is there something happening that is sketchy, that is fraudulent? And while there's no evidence that indicates that, you have to ask those questions. And then throw in the controversy with the Publicis Group, who is no longer recommending the trade desk. This is a large player in the advertising space. And them not giving their recommendation to trade desk is a big hit. And they are saying that they failed an audit. The trade desk has come out and said that they did not fail an audit. So there's so much negative pressure against the trade desk. But there are, however, positive catalysts that are showing that this company can get moving again. And the biggest was Jeff Green, their CEO, putting up his own money and buying a huge stake in the company during its last drop off of earnings. He basically is saying that the trade desk is going to recover. It's going to rebound. He's putting his own money up against those naysayers. So we'll see who is going to win. Let's get into the charts and see what the technicals say, where we are with the current price action, and what potentially can happen when earnings are reported on Thursday. So here we are right now. We are trading at $24.16, and you can see we are looking at the daily chart. We are sitting right on that 50-day simple moving average, which just so happens to line up with the point of control and this fat volume node here. So there's quite a bit of support right now where the trade desk is sitting, and it did drop down and hit a low in 2026 of $19.72. That is just insane. And to find a lower price, you'd have to go back to March of 2020, COVID times, when it hit $17.98. I thought that there was a very real chance for it to get there. During that weakness that came in, this was off of the controversy with Publicis. And so we've since seen a rebound. And what I was watching here recently is What was it going to do when it got into that 50 simple moving average? And you could see that it faced some resistance here. It kept hitting its head off of it. It popped above it here on the 29th of April, came back down, but has since got above that 50. And now it is in a spot where there are no moving averages above it until you get to the 100-day simple moving average, which is at 2852. When I'm looking at the charts, I'm looking to see these major moving averages where institutions buy and sell shares. I'm looking to see how clear the path is to that next moving average. And you could see that from the 50, where the trade desk currently is, up to the 100, there is a pretty clear path. Now, that doesn't mean that it's just going to automatically go there, but if the trade desk reports in a positive fashion, this would be the first point of resistance. We'd be looking to see the price action stop. Now, notice this. If it is able to clear that 100, it does have room up to the 200 simple moving average, which is at $40.75. Again, that would be a massive move. The trade desk has not been at $40. You'd have to go back to January 6th of this year to recover that price. But take a look at this. And we do have a double bottom pattern. This is actually a pretty large double bottom pattern, although it is a higher low, lower low pattern. But if it were to push up above that 100 and clear the neckline, that is a confirmed bullish pattern that could indicate that there is more upside ahead. So we want to watch that. If it does start moving higher, can it clear that neckline here at 32.67? And this move here was off of optimism that the trade desk was going to partner with OpenAI and ChatGPT to provide their ads. And you can see that did not hold. It dropped. But we're going to watch these levels to the upside here. We want to watch the 100. We want to watch this neckline here at 32 and change. And we want to watch that 200 simple moving average. Now, hey guys, it's a rainy day. Come inside, check out the channel, watch another video, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. I appreciate you being here. It's not going to go there right away. I don't foresee a gap that hard for the trade desk. If anything, it would gap into the 100, chop, consolidate a little bit, and then we'd be watching that neckline as that next stop, 32.60. And the other thing that I want to point out is we don't have that many unfilled gaps overhead, meaning that as this thing dropped, there were retests before it fell lower. So you didn't have a lot of unfilled gaps here to the downside. To find our nearest unfilled gap here on the trade desk, and the reason why this is important is because unfilled gaps have a tendency to get filled. But we'd have to go back to August of 2025 when this thing just gapped down majorly. I believe that was almost 30 some dollars, almost $40. But that unfilled gap is at $87.49. Now, this thing is not gapping that hard. The trade desk does not make semiconductors. It does not produce AI chips. It does none of that. So this isn't happening, but this could be a long-term goal if there is growth recurring in this company, if they're going to upgrade their forward guidance, those types of things. Maybe we see some partnerships. Then this could be a goal for a longer term time frame, maybe 4 to 6 months, maybe by the end of the year. But a lot would have to go in its favor for that to happen. And the only other unfilled gap, you'd have to go back to one left behind here from February of 2025 at $118.77. Again, that is not happening anytime soon because this thing has been beat up very significantly. And then if we just look below, we see we have this gap here that was already filled for March 2020. I have that identified as being a space to watch. If it drops down to this area, will buyer step in? And I was watching that as a price dropped here at the beginning of April as a potential bouncing spot. So let's say that we do come lower here off of the earnings report. I do want to watch that 1798 area, but the next unfilled gap here on the chart, you'd have to go back to 2018, and there in fact two hit $9.47 and at $5.45. I will tell you this, if the trade desk comes down to this price area, I don't know if anybody is going to see value in this company anymore. Here is probably the biggest pressure on this stock. It is seen as a software stock. It is being lumped into that software category. We know that software has been getting crushed, and that is also contributing to the narrative to push this thing to the downside. Again, if it were to drop off the earnings report, watch that $18 to $17.98 area, that gap from March 2020 that was filled. But if it breaks down through that with some strength, you don't want to say it can't happen, but with all the weakness that the trade desk has shown over time, maybe it comes down here. Now, again, if that happens, I think that tells you all you need to know about the trade desk. But here's the thing, this is a cash flow positive company, no debt. The fundamentals are strong. The balance sheet is strong. It's just facing lots of headwinds. It's facing lots of competition, and it's being revalued, re-rated. And the question is whether or not they can get growth going again. And that's going to be the big question. So we are going to be watching for that. But the setup right now, again, is the technicals lean bullish. You do have a double bottom pattern here. We are not overbought. We are not oversold. We're sitting right in the middle here on the RSI. And we do have room up to that 100. All right. And by no means does it mean this thing is going to rip, but there are some things that look positive here for the trade desk. When we hop over here to the weekly, you also can see that double bottom pattern forming here. But notice this, the trade desk has not closed above that 10-day exponential moving average here on the weekly chart. You'd have to go back to July of last year. So almost 1 full year. And then if we just look at our moving averages here, we don't have a significant simple moving average above us until we get to the 50 SMA, which is at $44.96. So just keep that in mind. And then let's take a look at the monthly here. You can see that April was a green month. It was the first green month for the trade desk in 5 months, which is pretty fascinating, being how strong the stock used to be. So let's see if that can flip again. We're red right now, but it is still early here in May. And let's see if this big bulk of bearish volume that came in here in March with this long upper wick, let's see if this was capitulation, if this is an inverted hammer, and this indicates that the bottom was in and maybe we start to rise here. And again, just looking at the moving averages here on the monthly, you can see this 10 EMA on the monthly at 36.94. So again, room up above. And you also have that 100 monthly simple moving average at 54.61. So the takeaway here is there is room for this thing to move if things are solid in the earnings report. Now, let's just go take a look at the last few earnings reports for the trade desk. And I could tell you right now, they are not good. So we could see here, this was February. This thing was at $25.12 and it gapped down, but it did get bought up. But we're going to give this a victory to the bears here. Drop down $4, but buyers did step in here. And this is a W for the bears, right? Big gap down, bulls stepped in, bought it up, led to that push up above the 50, but then gave it all back. This thing, again, just cannot hold on to anything positive. If we come back over here to November 6th, we're going to see a similar situation here. This was the day of earnings. They reported at market close. And what happened that next day? It dropped $4.09, so 8.93%. Got a little bit of a retest, but then dropped and went lower. So this was another W for the bears. So 2 in a row for the bears. The bears own the trade desk right now. And then you come over here to August. Guys, look at this gap down that happened here on earnings. Let's measure this out from the close to the bottom of that wick, $35, almost 40%. And this really just started this descent lower into the dungeon. And so we have another W here for the bears. So the last 3 reports, the bears have got the W, have pushed lower. And we have to go back to last May 8th. So this was actually a day later than when we'll be reporting this year. But this was the last gap up that the trade desk had off earnings when it moved up $15.73. It was trading at, let's see here, at close, $59.86 and got up into the 70s. So this was the last victory that the bulls had, W for the bulls. So of the last 4 reports, you had 3 wins by the Bears, 1 by the Bulls, and I got to come back over here because this is what started it all, started the big old downtrend. If we measure this out, this was from February of 2025 down to the low, $37.91. This really just started this big move to the downside, and that was a W for the Bears. So if you're counting and scoring at home, we could just pull this all here on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4 wins for the Bears, 1 for the Bulls. What is going to happen tomorrow? Again, you wouldn't think that this stock can go lower, but I will say this, just even considering probability with this stock, even when you think that more negative news can't continue to come out about the trade desk, it just continues to come out. And until it can show something positive that investors can latch onto and believe in, you would have to anticipate more movement to the downside, or at least more chop, or a move higher potentially into that 100 daily simple moving average here at 28.52, and then it gives it all back and fades lower. Because the reality right now with the trade desk is they are not showing that they are growing. They are showing that they're facing stronger competition. They talked about in the last earnings report that the ad space and ad spend in the consumer packaged goods arena was low as it was in automotive. So we want to see if that's ticking up in some way. And so we'll see. This is going to be a fascinating report. And again, I am fascinated by the story. I'm fascinated by the stock. If I'm going to lean one way with how this one moves, and I am wrong at times with these earnings reports, but I'm willing to put my thesis out there. I think that based on what I'm seeing, based on the history of the stock these last few months, that we get another push lower. And that does not mean that this stock is dead, because I think it will come back. Now, I don't know if it'll ever get back into the 140s, but I do think you need one more true capitulation event. Maybe it comes back down and retests that $19 range. Maybe it comes back down into that gap at 18, and then you really have buyers who step in. So it's all going to hinge on what the company says tomorrow about growth, what they are reporting. Do they have a surprise upside beat? Do they raise forward guidance? We will see, but I do think there's probably just a little bit more weakness to go to the downside here. And if it breaks that $18 area, look out, because this thing could drop even harder, and that could spell some difficulties for the trade desk down the road from a technical perspective. So there you have it, the trade desk reporting earnings tomorrow. Let me know in the comments, will this thing move higher? Is this downward pressure finally over, or does it have more room to go? Please put that in the comments below. Smash that subscribe button, and I will see you back here for the next earnings preview. Make it a great day, honor the moment, and most importantly, be grateful. Take care, everyone.
Charts like mountains climbing.